Good Sunday morning to you all. My name is Rick Morera and I'm in my backyard again. It is Sunday, August 1st, about 9:30 in the morning, and it's already 86 degrees. I think it's going to be a clear day, so the temperatures will probably climb up to about 95 degrees. So it'll be a dry, hot day. The plants have been kind of weird. They haven't been flowering as much, but there's a lot of new growth. And so I'm just going to give you a walk around the yard, and then at the end of the video I picked 10 plants that I'm going to show you. They're a little bit on the rare side, mostly Hoyas, and some of them have interesting leaves, so I want to share those with you guys. So please stick around and enjoy the video. So since I'm here and I always talk about these plants here, let me just show them to you again. This is a variegated erythrina. It was given to me by a friend in Texas, and just the foliage is really stunning, and the new growth comes in like really like a yolk yellow, and it's just constantly putting out some really funky leaves, and I love it. Next to it is that new Hoya hybrid I have that has the little compact, very thick, dark margined leaves. That's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that one. If you go back one or two videos, I showed the flowers. It's already bloomed, so I can't wait to grow this guy out and have a big full potted plant. And this one again I always show is EPC 1015, and it's getting a lot of sun for Hoya, so the benefit of that is that it puts out a lot of blooms. So you can see it's been blooming a lot, and it has 1, 2, 3, and so yeah, you can see that it's doing pretty well. I mean, it looks a little sun stressed and pale, but it looks good. I mean, it's growing and putting out flowers. So I'm growing this one here, and I have another 1015 growing in the shade that looks very different. So I can show you that to you guys in a little bit. And over here, I was pretty surprised with Hoya Pentaphlebia. This guy is just beginning to open, but the sunbow has bloomed like 4 times. As soon as it blasts, it puts out new buds, so can't beat that. That's Hoya Pentaphlebia, and the foliage on that is pretty nice as well. As you can see, the leaf gets pretty big, and it's a very no-fuss Hoya. I have it here growing on this carry-eye variegated that obviously needs to be repotted, because I think this pot is all roots. There's no growing media. So I still don't know. It looks like a work project for another day, but I'll have to repot it one of these days. So these Hoyas have been trying to escape the yard since I put them on this fence. This is Hoya SR 2007-13 Loy Province, and it just keeps growing. It's a fast grower. It has really cool big leaves. As you can see, it's made its way up into the neighbor's yard, and it's growing. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's growing up on that tree. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. Another one that's, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a carry-eye cross Malifula that's up there. And as you can see, and it originates here in this pot. And it's bloomed way up there. If you go back a few videos, I have pictures of it blooming up there. So it seems pretty happy. I hope it covers that whole trunk, because it's kind of ugly. So, but if it's covered in a big Hoya, that would be great. Another Hoya that's really enjoying this is the EPC 620. Has a really pretty all white bloom, and it's doing really well here. Basically, I just water these over here. Maybe if it doesn't rain, I'll water it every other day. And my Hoya Sunrise over here constant bloomer as well. It's looking pretty. So there's a lot of stuff going on. This elliptica, for some reason, the leaves are not looking too good. I think it's really root bound and needs to be repotted. I've taken about 60 cuttings of it and I've started new pots, but I might do that to the remainder of this Hoya. And you can see it's trying to bloom. Yeah, that might work. And then I know there's another umbel up here. This year, I don't know why, but it has really pink centers to the buds. So what else we got? We got this really pretty orchid. It was blooming for like 2 months, and then the spike died down, and then it put out another branch on that spike, and it's blooming again. It's Francine Rose Glow, and it's really pretty. So, and the ever blooming Hoya occultata, and as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 peduncles coming on. So it's been constantly blooming for probably close to 6 months. So that's pretty interesting. And back here in the main deck, I have some philodendrons. They're enjoying this miserable weather that we get: rain, humidity, and heat. And this is my Pulmonii. This leaf is probably a year old already, and it has put out a newer leaf that's really a lot of splashing on it. It's really pretty, and it looks like it's putting out another one. And my variegated pedatum there, and this is one of the colocaceas I picked up at OFE. Alocasia silver dragon seems to be doing pretty good. And I wanted to show you this actual catasetum that I bloomed, and I can't remember when I got it, but the flowers are all like this wine color. It's pretty striking looking, kind of scary looking too. And I don't detect a scent to it, but it's from Sun Valley Orchids. And let's see the tag. Tag doesn't want to, well, it's a Catasetum Millie Frilly cross with Karen Armstrong. And back here I want to show you a couple things. This is a Bobergia Hallelujah. These things always look ugly most of the year, but then when they put out one of these blooms, it's really striking. Those colors are really vibrant and they really stick out. But as you can see, the plant is kind of ugly, and I had it hidden. I just noticed that color from the back, and I just pulled this plant out. And I'm gonna try to split it and make it more appealing, because the bloom is really stunning, as you can see there. And back here I have some Hoyas that I'm trying to grow out. Over here, this is a Hoya LP4. It's a kind of verticillata. And this is a mini bell I have here. And this is a Hoya species Delat. And back here is one of the Hoya Timor. It's not the Timor West, it's the other one, but it's growing really well. And it gets really dark green foliage when grown in a little bit of shade, so I might have to move it somewhere, get a little more sun stress so that it can bloom eventually. Here's, I have a Carmelet, and I mounted it on one of my reject pots that I made, I just zip tie them on the bamboo, and it makes a great spot to hang a plant. And that's Hoya Retusa. And this over here is some sort of anthurium. Forgot the name, but it's putting out some really funky leaves. And my Hoya diversifolia elniticus. It's kind of like taken over, but I'm letting it. I like the way it looks all natural growing up in the trees and the fence and all that. The leaves on this thing get really, really big. As you can see, this is probably about 7 inches by 4-inch leaf. And there's the Happy Buddha. And there's some of my philodendrons. This is Patricia, putting out a ruffle leaf. And here is a Bilate. And this is another recent purchase. I lost the tag. I don't know where I put it, but I have it written down somewhere. So yeah, there's a lot to take care of. It's only me back here, usually taking care of all these plants. They could look a little better. They could be displayed a little better, but for the amount of time that I have, it's all I can do. And I'm sure someone out there is like, oh wow, what a mess, but I'm pretty happy with it. It doesn't really bother me that it's a little bit disorganized. I kind of do like the disorganized look. And to me, if I have to put too much stress and work into the garden to the point that I'm overburdened, then it's no fun. So this is what I have, and I'm happy with it. So let me show you the 10 Hoyas that I picked for you today. So hope you enjoy. And here is one of my Hoyas that I'm going to show you today. There's 10, so I'm not going to be talking too long about them because this video probably could be over an hour, and that would be way too long. So let me show you the first one. It's really cool. It's one of Carl and Brunilda's. I believe it's a wild seed. It was pollinated by insects, and they've named it Hoya Evy, E-V-Y, and it's blooming for the first time. And it is really, really pretty. It has a smallish, that color is kind of hard to describe. It's like pinkish, salmony color. It might look like it has some oligorium in it from the color. And these leaves look really veiny. And they're the new growth, as the plant matures, it gets really prettier. So yeah, this is Hoya Evy, and I'm really excited to have it bloom for the first time. And this next Hoya, I'm really excited about it because I got it as a 2-leaf cutting earlier this year. And as you can see, it's really done really well in my care. Basically my neglect, because it's a pretty easy Hoya. This is Hoya Nooch. It's characterized by its really, really wavy edge. It's a Finwasonia type Hoya, but look at the new growth. It's really wavy and really attractive. It does get a little bit of splash, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And as you can see, it's not that difficult to grow if I can get it to put out all this growth in about 5 months. So that's Hoya no Nooch. This next Hoya is Hoya Sulawesi number 2. So the thing with these Hoyas that are named after their location they were found, the thing is they could be many Hoyas from that certain location. So you might run into situations where there are many Hoyas from Sulawesi or from Borneo or from Sarawak. But it's sometimes they have an accession number. Sometimes they don't, but this one came to me as Sulawesi number 2, and I've bloomed it before, and it's going to bloom again, so I'm really excited. The leaves are pretty interesting. They have a wave to them, and they have some veining. It's pretty distinct foliage and growth pattern, and it seems to be doing happy since I moved it out into the garden entrance, and as you can see, it's blooming. So I think I have an old picture, and I'll put it up when I edit the video. And this next Hoya is Hoya species Saba. As you can see, it's another location named Hoya. I forgot what the, there's an accession number for it, but it has really pretty leaves, and has that dark maroon midrib in the back, and you can see it is doing really well. So it must like the heat and humidity, because it grows like a weed here in Florida. And one thing about it, it doesn't like to dry out. So once it dries out, it kind of gets a little temperamental. So don't let it completely dry out. This is Hoya species Saba. This one over here, I believe it's a hybrid or a wild cross. It's called Hoya Rang Sun. And as you can see, it's really well known for its stunning splash patterns, and it consistently splashes. So it's very rare to see one with no splash. There's one leaf that's not too splashy there, but all the subsequent leaves have been really nice. And this one is bloomed, and I'll get to show you the flowers. Yeah, so I really like this Hoya for, again, for its appearance and ease of growth. And of course the flowers are pretty cool, and the splash is extra bonus. So it's Hoya Rang Sun. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have some incense sticks over here this morning. Well, one of the reasons is it smells really good. It's sandalwood. And another reason is that the mosquitoes think that I am Sunday buffet this morning, and they were attacking me. So I went in the house and got the incense stick, and it kind of like keeps them away. So double benefit on that. So this Hoya over here is Hoya, and I've shown it before, but it's so cute. It's Hoya Commingiana variegated form. And as you can see, I already started propagating it. It's actually a pretty good grower. And I've only known about it for about a year, so it's relatively new and pretty rare here in the United States. I'm really happy to have it. It's really quite stunning variegation. So Hoya Commingiana variegated. And the next Hoya I have here is Hoya Mitrada. I usually have a problem with this guy. I've killed a few over the years. It's not the easiest one in my growing environment, but it looks like it's going to bloom. I'd be really excited, and it has really nice, happy new growth. And the roots, I have it in palm and in weka, and the root system. This plant has been planted here for about 6-7 weeks, maybe less, and it seems to be really happy in weka and palm. So, and if I'm lucky enough, I'll get that one to bloom. So Hoya Mitrada has a really bizarre looking flower, and I will be happy to share it with you guys when it blooms for me. And I know I keep showing this Hoya because I am totally in love with it. The markings on these leaves get really, really amazing for every single leaf that it puts out. It's pretty stunning. This is Hoya corneri. It looks so kind of delicate and difficult, but actually it's not. I keep getting new growth, and I have a hard time ever killing one. So if you don't have this Hoya for foliage, definitely one that you might want to get your hands on. So Hoya corneri. The next one here is Hoya Naba Juanenses from Moyag River in Saba. And it's very different from all the other Nabawenses that I have, because it's a constantly puts out these splashy leaves, and it's relatively easy to grow. I never grown it in sun stress, but I'm sure it probably does a nice job sun stressing. So I think we have a visitor today. Swiffer came to see what I'm doing. Hey Swiffer. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, she's exploring. I guess there was a raccoon in the backyard this morning, and she was a little bit disturbed by it, so she looks around and makes sure he's gone. So yeah, this is Hoya EPC 935 Affinis Naba Owensis from Moyag River. So if you don't have this one, you might want to try it, because it's pretty easy actually. And this is Hoya Verstigi, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's characterized by really, really funky, wavy edge to the leaf. And the new leaves are really, really pubescent. As you can see, it's still kind of fuzzy on top. And the bottom of the leaves, even as they're mature, stays really, really soft. I don't know, you can't see there, but it feels like velour. And when it blooms, I've seen pictures online, and it's stunning. So I'm really looking forward to it. And this one here is Hoya Bermonica. If you guys have any tips on how to bloom it, let me know, because it has a peduncle on every node almost, but it's been doing that for about 8 months and it has never bloomed. I think it's because of my altitude and my temperature, so maybe it'll bloom in the winter. So hopefully it'll do so, because I'm really excited to see the blooms on this one. So this is Hoya Bermonica. And the last Hoya I have for you today is Hoya Mitrada. I actually have 2 of the 4 forms that I have. This one is recent from Indonesia, and it already has a modified leaf. And this one I've had for a few months. It's from Thailand, and they call it Hoya Mitrada big leaf, but it's different than the other big leaf that I have. So I've been calling it Hoya fat leaf, because it has really these ladle-like leaves that are quilted, and it makes quite a beautiful foliage plant. So that's one form of Mitrada, and here's another form. And these leaves modify, and they form like a cabbage cluster type of thing, and they provide home for the ants. And the plant likes that because it gets nutrients when the ants live there, and their droppings are fertilizer. So there's only a few Hoyas that do that I'm aware of. It's Hoya lambii and Hoya darwinii, so, and Mitrada, of course. So don't know if this Hoya is really trying to form the cabbage to attract its ants, but I really like the way it looks right now, and I hope that it forms a really nice big plant of leaves that look just like that. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you like and subscribe, and I hope that you come back every Sunday when I upload a new video. Have a wonderful Sunday and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you.